Hi guys, this is basic New Zealand electrical. Just for the first part of the video is mainly for tourists who are coming into the country, just so you can familiarize yourself of what it's like in New Zealand for electrical wires and that type of stuff, just so you know before you come over, or just a heads up of what we have here. And how we run things and how things work around here. So just the first bit, as I said, is going to be just for the basics, and then I'm going to go into somewhat advanced electrical. Not advanced, but a little more difficult. Basically, some people won't understand it, but oh well, you better listen in the first bit though. Okay, cool. Right, just going to show you some multi-boxes and plugs and what we have in New Zealand. Just a moment. Right, here we go. This is your normal plug, and this is your normal socket. Doesn't change. Any part of New Zealand, you're going to still have the same stuff. We've got sleeved pins, apart from the earth, line and neutral, phase and neutral, whatever. Phase, neutral, earth. Or yeah, that's positive, negative earth for people who don't understand too much. So this is what they look like. That's what you can plug things into, just like that. All good. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so this is all standard. Doesn't change. This is what you usually get from stores like the Warehouse and stuff. That's just a convenience store in New Zealand. You can pretty much get these multi-boxes anywhere. Got these things, ratings and stuff. There is a little reset, little circuit breaker, thermal controlled circuit breaker. So if you do overload it, it will pop current wise. So don't be overloading these things. And by golly, do not be plugging in heaters into these things. That's stupid. Phone chargers, yes. Heaters, not the best. Even though it's rated at what? Oh, you can't even see the bloody thing. Let's see if you can turn up the brightness here. Nah. Oh well, it's rated at 10 amps at 2,400 watts for indoor use only. Max total loading. 10 amps, 2,400 watts. So that's what you're going to get. Don't overload it, because you'll just get heat and fire, and that will pop. Not very nice. And what type of travel adapters you should be using? This type. Directly for the plug that you want to be plugging into. This accepts earths, so it's got an earth pin. Phase and neutral. This is for a European plug, right here. This plugs into here, and that goes in there. Nicely, very firm. Pardon me, I'm going to have to stop the video just to unplug it. So, just before, that's what you should be using. Do not use this, please. One plug fits all arrangement. That's stupid and it's dumb. Look at that, you can almost stuff your finger in there. It's got shutters, but what's stopping someone from poking stuff in there? Nothing's stopping me from stopping a toothpick in there, is it? No. Nope, this is not plugged in, by the way. It's pretty. Nothing stopping me from doing that. I completely open these things and just shove something in there. See, look, it's already burst open. Do not get these. And do not do this. Bloody hell. Please. Do not do that. Even though this thing is, what? With safety shutter, yeah, right. You can still do that. You can still do that. You can still do that. Nothing's stopping you. This is. You can do it the other way around, but that's normal. That's all good. But this thing, it's a proper compliant appliance. This is not. It's got safety shutters and an awesome little LED light or neon or whatever it is. You can even plug your own New Zealand plug into these things. Pardon me. You can stuff it in there like that. Oh well. This one does have some reasonable grip though, and do not unplug like that. Put your fingers there, that's dangerous. It's unplugged though, it's a multi-box. Yeah, don't get that, that's very dangerous. And no, unlike the UK, New Zealand does not have fused plugs, so you can usually you can push this up to 20 amps, and that will pop. So yeah, please use the designated travel adapters for your plug. So if you come from the US, use a US one. Do not buy one adapter fits all. Danger. Just buy one of these. If you're coming from Europe, use one of these. If you're coming from the US, use a different one. It all applies to the same thing. Coming from China, well, China actually has one of these, but upside down. But anyway, it's besides the point. Signavol, our voltage is 230 volts AC, 50 hertz, right here. With 50 hertz, remember that, I should write that down, because hertz can be essential. There we go, 50 hertz. That's what we run on. 50 hertz, 230 volts AC. We don't change. We don't have, we've only got usually houses of single phase power. That's all we have, 230 volts. We don't change. Different outlets, well, oh well. We don't have 110 volts in New Zealand, only 230. So if you come from America, well, tough luck. You're going to have to buy a transformer. Unless your appliance can take, it's a universal one. But we have 230 volts here. And I'll show you some older PowerPoints, just a second. Here we go, that's what we have. We have switches on our PowerPoint, so when you plug things in, always switch it on. When you're finished, turn it off, unplug. Awesome. On, off, on, off. Off is up, on is down. That's New Zealand. And you're always going to have switches on your sockets. So when you want to turn it on, boom, there you go, off. That's what they look like. Quite cool actually. And this is 10 amps, like all of the other ones. So yeah, I'll show you a cool one. Here's one with lights on it. You don't get these anymore, really. Look at that. It's awesome. You're probably not interested in the oven, but yes, we do have switches, main switches for the ovens too. I mean cooktops, sorry, and ovens as well. And that's our range hood up there. So yeah, it's our cooktop. I'll show you some ratings. So this is when I'm going to get into somewhat advanced stuff. Actually, I need to touch base on one more thing. We do have shaver points. This is an older type shaver point. It says shavers only. You get 230 volts here and 110 volts there. Right, a bit of a lesson. Don't be like my auntie who plugs in a hairdryer into a shaver's point. No, thing goes bang. This thing still works. This thing is hasn't been used, but shavers only, please. You get 110 volts, so if you get a shaver that's only rated for 110 volt, oh well, we can accommodate that. But remember, 50 hertz, we don't have 60 hertz, always 50. This doesn't convert hertz, just voltage. And we've got a other one for European ones and for New Zealand ones too, so we can plug in our shavers and charge them. But yeah, this is just normal 230 volt and 110. So that's what we have for some shaver points. I'll show you another one. Here we go, shavers only, AC voltage. What the hell is that? Yuck. off, on, off. So we've got switches on the shaver points too. It's 110, so it can accommodate US and European US here if you want to use 240, but suggest you stick with that one. So yeah, this is an old PDL one. You don't get these anymore. These are very old. And yes, you can stick your finger in there too. That's an earth pin, accommodating New Zealand shavers if they have an earth, but usually they're double insulated, so that doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's a shaver point. Here are some cool light switches from the 70s and 80s. Up, off, down, on. Got a little neon light. Cool little indicator. On, off. Simple. We're reversed from the US. So the US, that would be on, that would be off. But in New Zealand, it's the other way around, just like the UK. On, off. Simple. Here's one without a little neon light, but this is in a three-way circuit, so you have to turn off the other switch to make this go up. So yeah, off, on, so awesome. Here's an old style double one. We can do that. We can turn one off, turn the other one off. Pretty good. Just like that. And yes, we do have triple ones. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or you can do that and that. Or just that and that. Or that and that. Very simple. Just like this one. So yeah. That's just light switches. You probably don't want to see that, but I'll show you some more stuff. So this is tourists. You don't really need to you don't really need to know this, but this is for the people who want to know a little more advanced things about our system. So lighting circuits, 5 to 10 amps. It's usually 10 amps now because 5 amps is a little older style. Power points, 15 to 20 amps. It's usually almost always in houses now 20 amps. You don't usually get 15 amp points. 15 amp points are in older houses, so you can have that still. There are plenty of old homes in New Zealand. Heating circuits are usually 15 to 20 amps, depending on how big the heating circuit is, but it usually is 20 amps. 15 amps is more of the older side. As for hot water, it still can be 10 amps, but it's usually 15. It's between those two. Depends how big the hot water cylinder is. Usually a hot water cylinder is 2 kilowatts, so that's around 8 amps, almost 8 to 10 amps in New Zealand, so it's alright. Ovens, 30, 32 amps. Oven plus cooktop, 32 amps. And cooktop can be on a 25 amp circuit too. They all really vary depending on the electrician, but yeah, as I said before, our power points do 30 volts, 10 amps, 50 hertz. Maximum current, 10 amps you can pull, because if you're going to pull more, you're going to cause some heat. So that's how it works here. So these circuits are separate. It would be illegal and foolish to hook up an oven and a cooktop circuit with a socket outlet circuit. So if you put a socket outlet on a 32 amp circuit, by golly, you better have some thick cable. Otherwise you're going to melt the wires or melt your socket. So we can't do that in New Zealand. That's somewhat illegal to hook up power outlet circuits, or vice versa. So all circuits are separate. I noticed in the US, their lighting and PowerPoint circuits are on the same circuit, 15 amps at 120 volts. That's their rules, and that's how they work. I'm not going to judge, but I'd prefer to have lights and PowerPoints on a different circuit. More complicated, but it's better separate, to be honest. Heating. So yeah, this is how we work really in New Zealand. So that's the sizes. I'm not really going to go into cable sizes, but you can ask me in the comments. I can give you a good old answer. But that's how it works, really. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video. I'm not going to do one on the meters because I've got an old video of meters downstairs, so you can take a look at that. That won't be in this video, but this is just what we do in New Zealand, and it's basic electrical. If there's enough comments and people asking to make me a very advanced video, I could, but I don't really want to because it'd be long. One more thing before I stop filming. Our electrical supply in New Zealand is a single phase 230 volts, as I said. Residential places don't usually have 2-phase or 3-phase 400 volt service. It's usually 230 volts at 60 amps, 60 to 80, or maybe 60 to 100. It depends what the guy on the pole decided to put in, but it's usually 60 amps, or 80, but sometimes it can be 100. It all depends, really. So that's our service, just phase neutral. It's all that. Just ask me any questions if I've missed out on some things or if you're curious, but that's how we run things in New Zealand. So yeah, anyway, that's about it for this video. I'll see you next time.